Hey, good morning, folks. This is Midnight Brands coming to you with live prep for Thursday, March 24th, 2023. I almost said 2028 because I was seeing the time. We're a couple minutes late here. Going to be another good one here today. Massive poll yesterday. A bunch of folks said it was Powell going a little bit hawkish towards the middle of the script, but I also saw some other folks with some really good observations and points. Where Yellen at the same time was talking and made some comment about like not all banks are going to be insured or not all deposits are going to be covered, something like that. I don't know. Really good poll on it that time though. So hopefully folks were able to catch some of that as really key levels, both ES, NQ, right into their tier 1 end of week cheats there. Definitely a bunch of other signals and stuff up at that time too. So yeah, hopefully everybody had a good one. As a reminder, folks, we are not financial analysts. We are not financial advisors. Nothing we say or do should be construed as any kind of a buy or sell recommendation. And anything that we talk about related to past performance is not a guarantee of future results. For the rest of our disclosures, please go look at our Substack page, and it'll give you all the fun details there if you like reading legalese. With that, we're going to go ahead and get started and hop on our channel. Good morning. Hey there, sir. Good, you?
Beautiful.
Yes, it is. It should be a good one.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, sorry, just a little bit late myself there. I came in and got disconnected overnight, so I had to completely restart, load things back up, and try to flip through things a little bit, and kind of lost track of my time there for a sec.
Same.
One hell of a sell yesterday.
What did you say? I'm sorry?
I said it was one hell of a sell yesterday.
Yeah, man. That was intense, dude.
I had some platform things come up on me, but I was also in meetings, so it wasn't the end of the world that I wasn't able to be in much.
Still annoying though.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, like it was really interesting. It was really good to kind of get to the, you know, it's obviously fully ingrained with folks that have said like, hey man, a lot of times that first move is the false move. You know, the last couple had been drop and then rally, and this time was a pop, pretty good size one too, right? I mean, we pushed all the way down to like 40.25 give or take, and then all the way up to like 40.75, and then we got that big sell.
Yeah.
So,
That was really nice.
in any event,
Not a bad chunk at all either this morning.
no,
You know.
nope. I know a couple of
Pretty
folks
straightforward.
mentioned they went long overnight on the tap of Gapville, kind of the 69, 70-ish area, and took it up to trend strength reference point, swing AV VWAP from the highs there, and I don't remember where they said they took NQ from. I was not one of those people. I went to bed not as early as I would have liked though. I've definitely noticed that the last handful of days I've gotten out of getting to bed early, and I can definitely feel it in the morning. It's taken more effort to want to, and getting up just in general. So it's amazing when you don't do it for so long, sleep that is, that when you do start getting into a somewhat of a regular habit, how quickly you can notice the change. In any event, let's dig into it. Start off with SVXY. So pretty straightforward to me. I did move up one piece there for the quarterly trend guide reversal zone, and instead of including the photo ADR, since we're gapping up, I just kind of removed it from hitting the photo and dragged it up actually to capture the gap fill. I have a feeling that div is going to go bye-bye. It'll probably join, if we open there, full ADRs will join that thing that we're testing with the weekly photo ADR. We could certainly shoot past there, I guess, and go tag one of these other ones on the upside. So I guess we can note that just in case we do keep kind of pushing. Like that. Would be a $4 move, which is a bit outside, I think. No, because it traded like $8, so we'll see. You can always come back and obviously if you have these levels on your charts, you can kind of pick them up just to try to get this directional sense of where you might see things. All right. So yeah, I don't know that there's really a whole lot. Like it's pretty, SVXY's pretty clean today. Alright, VIX, as usual, did not look as clean if I remember when I pulled it up and looked at it. Ooh. Right at the OPEX cheat. Yeah, that was the other good clue yesterday. If you had them on your charts, there's a lot of things that hit the tier 1 end of week cheats, VIX being one of them. You know, it's TGR today, but I mean, it came down and tagged the monthly pivot. I don't remember if there was a daily pivot there yesterday too, but I mean, it came down and tagged that monthly pivot end of week. Couldn't get a bar close beneath it, you know, and then today it's a daily cheat monthly pivot. So pretty nice actually on that one to the downside. With the zone there in the middle, you've got your trend strength. Looks like monthly trend guide 1 and 50-day EMA with 20 just above that. We came just short too of tagging that weekly full there. Interesting. But we definitely consumed all of our weekly photo. yeah, I just don't know that. I mean, there's a whole lot there. It's kind of, it's actually cleaner than usual from what I remember glancing at last night. I don't think that's an ABCD for today, but it is there. I think it's like probably a 23.6 retrace, I'd guess. A little bit more than that, actually. But definitely a nice higher low off the stuff from earlier in March. I combine that into one zone, as opposed to treating it as two there, actually. Alright, SPY, and then fix. Alright, SPY. I don't know that we need to include this div level. Supply demand. I already got rid of that one. So this is the it's 200-day SMA there. Okay. And the 200-week SMA. And it's got weekly and a daily anchored VWAP up right there. Yeah, I guess you should keep that. It is really close to this next one. It seems really wide though for SPY. We dragged it up to capture the gap fill. I guess you could leave the gap fill alone there and just treat that as a div. And bring your zone down just to really keep it tight and watch on the weekly pivot TGR. And then just keep an eye on breadth and see where it's at. If it does a reaction here off of gap fill of anything significant, it's not that old of a gap fill. It was kind of a nice little dip there that morning though, so I couldn't close it. That's interesting. what do we do? 11 bucks, 10 bucks. So yeah, I think those zones are actually pretty decent there. Did add this one back to the upside if we decide to completely reverse all of yesterday's move and the fact that we're gapping up. You know, could put it where we go back and full ADRs are up there and they're going to move up even higher based upon that gap right now. So added this extra one up here with the MPP, APP, Tier 1 added weak cheat, and then you actually can see there's extreme ADRs up there too at almost 3%. We tagged the bottom tier of that yesterday there too. Okay, yeah, so we changed this so it was actually a full zone, not just a div. Others have called out too, the other part to keep in mind with this trend guide zone is, you know, yes, photo ADRs look like they're going to slide and move up, but also keep in mind it is the, you got the tier 1 day cheat there, but more importantly, you have a high weekly anchor VWAP. And actually, the daily kind of lines up right there too, at the same spot at that trend guide zone. So definitely one you want to keep in mind. You know, do we get up to trend strength and reclaim, or do we fail it out? Qs looked really good. I didn't change a thing on the Qs. That reminds me, I need to take a look at one thing here real quick. Having to reboot in the morning is not what I expect to do. It kind of throws everything off. Okay, nice. That all went well overnight. Okay, so Qs, like I said, I don't think I adjusted anything at all when I came in and looked at this morning. And from last night when I looked at it, it looked pretty nice too. So up 3.5, 3.25 from lows overnight. It obviously lost the swing AVWAP, but we can see it's already recovered it here this morning. Trend strength reference point is definitely right smack dab in the middle there on that one. I wonder if you could say, we didn't obviously complete that ABCD there, but do we set it up to do this? And of course there's nothing at that 320 level. I'm going to take that back, 321. It's not quite at that level though, but it just doesn't complete or fill anything, so In any event, the fact that we're gapping up $3+ bucks, I guess I would include this as a possible zone then. Top edge is supply and demand. Tier 2, cheat. Be getting into extreme ADRs, and then the piece that we're newly tracking with the weekly photo ADR there. And that won't move because we're still well within the ADR range for the week. Yep. Really like when they're this clean. Gets spoiled.
Very minimal stuff you have to
do. Okay, nobody started queues yet. Thursday, March 23rd. All right, now let's look at ES and such. And let's flip this one to orange. And let's flip this piece to orange. So nice too on that trend line. Like I'd still keep this trend line because even though we moved through it, like we didn't get a bar close there at all.
Yep.
So that's
It's
still
a pretty defined channel there.
Yeah. It was interesting too that MPP area. I didn't notice this because I just started trying to add these in there for some extra clues and stuff. Is that MPP area trend, which is now trend guide today, was a 3-year low volume node too. You can see it right there where I've got the mouse on the weekly. There's just kind of this gap. There's a lot of stuff traded up higher at 66 and then down lower in the 10s and 30s and stuff. But in any event, I did get a chance to look at this one last night and make a few tweaks on it. Doesn't look like full ADRs and stuff have really moved around too much. I do think we can adjust some of this here though. Why is this locked on me? Oh, interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool, kind of, yeah. I wonder if it does the same thing when I export the CML for you guys, if it locks it and whatnot.
I think I'll try out.
here's because when I got done making all my changes last night, I said go ahead and save my quad, so that if anything happens overnight, like the computer reboots or whatever else, like I don't lose all the adjustments that I've made to the charts and stuff. And as soon as I loaded it, it was all globalized too, which was nice.
Like sometimes the globalized stuff they come out.
So the piece that I was debating about changing here was, you know, potentially not having this trend guide zone be so wide. And I mean it's that wide because I'm trying to pick up the tier 1 daily cheap, but you know, maybe it doesn't make sense to quite go down that far and just capture it right to the top edge of supply and demand. It is about 10 points if we do that. And so if we get rid of the lock there, and take this really just to right there, which is also Monday's overnight low. Oh no, sorry, that was Monday's overnight low. This was the bar retest there. And then just watch for this as a potential div area here with these blocks. I mean, you can create it as a zone. It's just it's so close to the bottom edge of supply and demand one there. I mean, I almost feel like I'd ignore it, because if we go through and if we do decide to blow through trend guide reversal, then it's okay. We'll get ready for and kind of watch. I mean, yeah, you've got some other structure, you've got things there, but really, why not start to watch and pay attention for full ADRs, monthly trend guide, etc. You know, and
What did you want on the CML file?
all of these zones are all locked.
Yeah. They all came locked and in the same place.
Okay.
100%.
So actually, I wonder with this one here, and looking at it again and separately, if it would be better to do this. Instead of having it so wide, pull it up here to grab the kind of a smaller thin zone there. And this is what, 3860? That's too wide.
You know what's weird? I did get a bunch of anchored VWAPs and I don't see them on the trends.
You would have got, because those are in a different chart. That's from the one I gave you was my quad,
Oh, gotcha.
and I just haven't pulled over any VWAPs onto here because I'm not looking at this one. This is my prep area window. The 60-minute one that's in my CML is the one that I have up on my far left monitor. And I have not cleaned it up yet either. But yeah, actually there is one there from March 15th that we can add. You know, you could say, oh, I got violated there. Well, this is an hourly bar. It reclaims immediately. And same thing over here, you know, yeah, we lose, but within 2 hourly bars, we reclaim and then get 3 holds, and then I can't tell if this was a hold or a dick for tick yesterday on that one. So, I mean, to me, that's definitely worth a keep on that one. It probably lines up perfectly and looks cleaner on the daily, but in any event.
I like that, bro. I'm glad you made those changes.
I actually think this one I want to drag up here like this. This trend strength zone seems way too wide to me. Oh, it's because it's picking up the 20-day EMA in there. That's why it's wide like that.
The heck, so weird. My ES 30-minute chart isn't, like the ETH isn't working. I click on the tab and it does nothing. And like I go to any other tab, it's good. Weird.
That's
Like a tree.
Yeah.
Oh wow, dude! I opened up the your prep file. I just noticed it copied all your zones over to my execution charts.
Yeah, because it's they're globalized. Probably a pro and a con, I'm sure. Yeah, and looking at it, I don't know if I'd really change much else. I mean, I don't like that the trend strength zone is so wide, but it's there because it's wanting to pick up the 20-day EMA in there. It is nice to get after we've pushed into, we've held. I guess if you wanted to, you could say, go to the lock piece on it real quick. You'd say ignore that and just kind of pull it up to grab the 50, which is right in there, and kind of this structure, and treat it like that. In fact, you could even say we haven't been able to get a close above. And go like this on it. As you can see kind of here, we had some resistance at supply and demand, the top end of that channel, had some support there. In fact, you haven't had a close above that at this point. And this has been a 10-day kind of high volume area. And candidly, at this point, the 20 and 50 are right in the middle of this range we've been in for the last couple of days. So it really needs to, either push up and reject, or come back and really get a good solid push off this 2050 and treat it like that, I think.
Down with that.
Is there a new pattern here? Pushes up to monthly trend guide, tier 3, be above the weekly, so maybe not. I'll have to see what really happens. It's not looking positive at the moment though. Alright. So the fact that this zone here, this weekly trend guide, supply and demand, tier 1 daily cheats is there. We went into, I think, tier 2 yesterday, so I don't know if I would treat that as a 2 or if I treat it as a 1. It would be kind of a nice continuation where it can't even get to closing out that fail candle. It could also, though, go up and tag the NVPOC and then trigger the failure, which would be a lower high even against the open on that one. So you have to see where things are at. To me, it's probably just a 1, though. But I think the 40-40, I think I treat that one as a 2. And then would actually probably ignore the AP. Not ignore, but if we go up to the APP level, I probably want to just say watch the price action, but really be more interested in the zone above with the full ADRs, supply and demand, tier 2 cheat, end of weeks there again, and it's the obviously weekly IB stat on that one. and hell, you could even go above further. There's a zone just right above there with weekly trend guide 2, gap fill, March's highs. That's supply and demand high, and then there's a low volume node up there too at 96.25. And below, I don't know that I care about any of the zones below until you get to TGR WPP.
Dang.
3-year high volume node, tier 1 daily cheat, like it's there. Got to kind of watch where things are at, but probably watch more for that full ADR supply and demand. And that supply and demand is the one that was the one I was thinking about that we tagged on Monday's open. And it really is an overnight session there, and to the frickin' tick, and then sent us up 100 some points. Although it'd be a retest, so and that's where again I'd be watching this weekly photo and seeing again, that's first week it's even having it on the chart, so we'll probably still watch and see what it's doing. So maybe it is a 1 actually, and then the bigger piece down below is a 2 with monthly trend guide, tier 3 daily cheat. I mean, now you're in the hey, yeah, let's go really try, bet heavy, bet last type of thing, which is not financial advice. Man, that's such a beautiful picture. You have to keep that on the screen all the time. It's just such a nice picture to pull up and see on the screen there.
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'm going to flip that. I'm going to put my posts in another room here too. Prep for Thursday, March 23rd. Okay, NQ. Weekly, monthly, anchor VWAP, whichever one you want to watch and follow, was a nice clue there yesterday too. And yeah, we definitely pushed higher, went up and tagged the quarterly trend guide 2, just tick for tick on the tier 1 end of week cheat stuff there. But I mean, that was definitely a clue to start really paying attention. Keeping in mind NQ generally overshoots. So that to me was really nice, and you can see bar didn't even close above there. We can get one bar close above it. So for today, and I don't know if I modified any of these from the run or not. Actually, I don't think I did. Yeah, quarterly. I added the weekly photo 1 in the tier 3 daily cheat at the 13,200 level. There's also a range low volume node there. And it looks like there is some kind of a structure piece, probably from back in September. Yep, right there. 220. And then below, that's where you get your quarterly trend guide 2, cheat end of week cheats, full ADRs. And then under is it's a bigger zone, but it's got a lot of stuff there. So you could break it up, I guess, into 2 and have a small one with the naked value area high, trend guide, and you get your monthly / weekly and could view up there, so you could treat that as one, and then have a secondary one which is up higher with your weekly TGR1, photo ADR, the structure from the 13808, and then again that low volume note on the range. So I'm just going to keep it as one and kind of watch that one. Of course, if we can't clear trend strength reference point, then it's all moot. And what's super interesting on that, and this is something we've seen now several times, we've been watching these expected moves, like that's not a positive sign for bulls here, is that where that end of week sheet is positioned just slightly above trend strength reference point. I don't have metrics to track this, but general observation has been when it's that low, then we don't tend to do much on the upside for bulls. So it can be different. Every day can have different circumstances, and there's econ stuff here this morning with jobless claims, if I remember correctly. So, but memory tends to say to me like that's not a positive sign. Under, we have kind of where we stopped yesterday. You've got your monthly trend guide reversal, annual pivots. It's kind of a nice bigger zone there. Gap fill, 10-day point of control, last week's point of control, the range we've been in really since, and for the range I'm looking at kind of this end of April 30th to be exact, out to kind of where we've been at here. And so that's a high volume area right there at that spot. Or high value area, I should say, not volume. High value area. And you've got a swing anchored VWAP in there as well. It's the secondary from that day, but it's still one that's there. And then you're into your trend guide reversal, photo ADRs, which have moved up. That was not into that block before, which so you got photo ADRs there. I guess you could take it down to the supply and demand. Would be a div against the lows, kind of back here. So it'd be a div against the weekly IB stat. So come down, go through the March 13th swing AV WAP and whatever else, and tag the supply and demand zone there, and then reverse. Again, those daily cheats are right there too. So miss all that, then you go down and you grab the full ADRs, weekly pivots. You could extend it down to capture the tier 2 daily cheat. It felt like it was going to be adding more than it was needed, and just kind of watch that as a div area. Yeah, it's almost another 25 points, and it's already a decently wide zone. Alright, 69 to 37, so this, however, is no longer an ADR zone because ADR's moved up. And then further down below, we noted the tier 1 end of week cheats. At this point, it's actually tier 3 daily cheat on that one. Supply and demand. It's probably the naked value area low on that day. Again, 50-day. So yeah, a bunch of stuff down at that level. Some structure down just a tad below at 12,145 as well. So that would be a massive, massive area if we get there, but really would start getting worried if you blow through this weekly pivot one. Are you really going to stop then at something like MPP, etc.? So, yep. Yeah, in this upside zone, you can see actually I combine them as opposed to treating them as two. had combined it into one. Okay, NQ, RTY. Okay, so this is no longer ADRs. And I don't know that we keep any of it at all, actually, since... Yeah, it's just a bunch of extreme ADR tiers and... Oh, actually, that's not what that one is. That's a copy and paste, and we pulled the wrong one down. So that would be... Yeah, no, that's not needed. We're not keeping that. However, what you could do is this. I'd say you could probably treat that as a zone there too, and pull this one up. So you got your weekly IB stat low there, definitely some structure, kind of this area looking left. Do not need to go that low, take it up to there. So you get the overnight lows so far, you get the stuff yesterday. It's also last week's point of control 10-day low volume area, or low value, not volume, damn it. Gap fills in there too. So and I don't know that this needs to be so wide here either. Could take it up to include that. Would that be? That'd be yesterday's value area low. So potentially go tag that and reverse off of it. Actually, that's not bad. Just gonna fix the anchor point.
Interesting. Yeah, RTY looks like it's basing.
On the daily.
Even the hour is pretty, seems kind of clear. Just like,
Isn't this kind of like a bear flag though? Like you can't even go up. I mean, can't even get to the.
Just like, it was a sharp move down, and then you just like, playing in this range, making marking lower lows, and then you had that one dive down to the weekly pivot, and reclaim made a little short time frame higher high, and then like if we can stick this slow or just like make a higher low here or whatever, continue, we just keep on basing on your head.
Yeah, I mean it is on a.
Just back up to the 19.
From a weekly IB stat level, I mean it is trying to do a higher low off the weekly IB stat because. I mean, this was just the overnight session here. All right, this was through Thursday, Friday through last week, and so those purple lines are the weekly IB stat there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, YN definitely looked that way. I haven't looked at it yet.
Interesting.
Yeah. You have to see what happens.
Rotation out of
Tech.
yeah.
Kind of need them to say something positive about banks as opposed to they're the worst things in the world.
That's the next thing in my mind right now. It's like, okay, they need to, do something about the banks because we do have a lot of them on RTY, right?
Yep. Yeah, carries that huge component of RTY.
Very not looking that good. Although it is still on the buy side symmetric break string, hasn't reset or anything.
Alright, YM also pretty good reject off of that one there yesterday. Off the swing A or the daily anchor VWAP stuff there is really kind of where I'm going. And it was the January 31st, 2022 monthly as well. So annual pivot is there. You can see there's been some reactions. You could certainly include that as a zone. It's by itself sans structure. The other thing you could do is you could just not ignore, but just understand that the 50-day is up there, but kind of ignore it and put more weight on it like this. And potentially do a lower high off of that zone. So you wouldn't even get to the weekly IB stat, you wouldn't even get to the full ADR. And you could go up there and tag them. I think I would ignore this photo ADR because while there is structure there, it was the reason why it got picked up really is because the ADR tier, photo ADRs, etc. Of course, it'll probably stop right here at this at the 10-day high node. Trend guide itself is alone, although it does have an NVPOC from yesterday in there. And then moving down beneath that, you get your kind of, it doesn't even really have the look there because it's off and where it's set. Yeah, I don't see something there at the 20.
I got the interview on too.
The one I just added, or?
No, that one right there to remove.
Yeah.
So you're removing the other one. I was like, there's that other one too.
It is kind of a nice double bottom there. It was the same thing we're seeing on R2Y. I think it's the same thing on ES and NQ put in higher lows off of their session VWAPs. But YMRTY is kind of a double bottom there. I don't know how to call that a zone though. But I do think I would treat this just given some of the, like how we've traded here. I think a lot of this is overnight stuff, but maybe even take it actually here like this. And you do actually count it, because then that way you get the gap fill, come down and close the gap fill and stuff overnight, or at open, and then push from there.
Yeah. Is that so on your daily chart, is that daily anchor view up right there? March
Yeah.
15.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, my finder won't grab it because I don't have it set to be Speedy Gonzalez type of setting, so it's
Gotcha.
there's not enough separation and stuff on those to really pick it up as one. But yeah, good eye on that piece there. It is definitely holding that spot there from the 15th.
Yeah.
And it would correspond too with how like where these wicks are. Like they keep going up higher
Got a
on.
bunch of closes right there.
Yeah. And so then when we closed yesterday,
I
we
wouldn't
held
want to
it.
give up that much on this one. Or else we can go see those the price on the lows there.
Yep. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I think we'll just expand this one here a little bit, given that ADRs have moved up there. Nice shot, sir. No, it's just CI. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, that is YM. I do like how by saving that overnight it didn't lose all my stuff. That's a nice win. Okay, on GC. Possible kind of continuation ABCD that puts us up to the weekly trend guide reversal. On that, with that hold yesterday, kind of the, I don't remember if it was trend guide reversal yesterday at this area or not. Nonetheless, it was kind of nice, you know, hold in this area there. Oh wait, that was 2 days ago. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, no, that's right. It held in there and then it had the big push with FOMC, kind of pushing up off of that. That's where it got to 40 some points after FOMC there.
Interesting, man. We're still heated on that.
Yeah, we did. I mean, this kind of basing and this pull did definitely help.
The equities sell off, isn't gold going to continue going higher?
Yeah.
That green is just going to...
Well, and interest rates and all that good stuff, yeah. So there actually is probably the flip side here though too. So I've drawn the upside potential ABCD, but downside if we continue that reject there, could go quarterly pivot to quarterly pivot type of thing. And so you can see here actually on this one, right, this area here with daily trend guide, quarterly trend guide reversal 2 has also been this on the 10-day volume profile high value area. It doesn't count today, it's looking for the previous 10 days is the way that one, I'm tracking that at the moment. In fact, you can't even get above the gap fill, can't even get a 60-minute close with gap fill from back here on this day. Yeah, sand's not picking up and grabbing this. Come up to grab that weekly pivot there. I think this one still is pretty good. Let's drag it up there a little bit. And then since this picked it up, this isn't a today thing, but. You could also, in theory, put a small one there too. Damn it, it's not what I said. What I don't like about that is just it's two back-to-back type of things. Should probably pull up and look at gold GLD to see where it's at level wise, and potentially make a call on what to do here for GC at that point. But I think if we start getting down to that weekly trend guide, if I'm trying to watch for a trade there, I'm probably gonna want to see it come into that quarterly trend guide reversal too, or one area. I'm sorry. And see what you get off of that. So I'll probably ignore that div level there with the gap fill and the end of week cheat there. I mean, it is still the end of week stuff, but we're pretty extended, so it wouldn't be unheard of to take them out and go back and kind of go into your tier 2, since we blew through the tier 1 stuff a couple weeks ago massively.
Or what else would we do? We could just probably just stay over here and consolidate.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Let everything cool down a bit.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, you know, if it wants to continue, it really needs to kind of let that 20-day keep moving up, and
Nice.
so yeah, have to see how it continues there. It's nice hold though yesterday too, though, of that daily anchor VWAP from that gap. All right, so this was the gap anchor VWAP March 13th, and it damn near held it to the tick. That one little div below yesterday, just right below the monthly trend guide. CL. Oh, don't be a pain in the ass. It's a nice hold of the trend strength reference point. Weekly, I can't even see. What the hell is that? Weekly pivot point. 30-minute swing anchored VWAP. Some structure there at that 70-ish level, which was also the 10-day low volume node there on that one. Really kind of been back and forth between that and the other one, trying to fill out the low volume node stuff there between 70 and 71, or 70, 80, I guess it is. 70, 60. Yeah, kind of a nice swing AV WAP there yesterday in the mornings. Guess you could maybe put a swing anchored VWAP here. Really kind of an inside one. I didn't mean to delete that. So that first zone you got there really is kind of a nice one. You got the gap fill, trend guide reversals, supply and demand, and the end of week tier 1 with the daily, first tier of the daily there, and then above you get photo ADR, you start getting back into that range that we had been in. And so do you reject and continue lower, or do you push and start going higher? If you want to go higher, then we can come up into the 20-day monthly trend guide. That's not a bad one. Oh, this has been the 10-day high volume area, value area. You care about this, probably ignore the fact that it's full ADR and treat it as a zone like this. Or say screw all that and come down and attack the monthly trend guide reversal, the photo ADR, tier 1 stuff with gap fill just below, or just keep continuing down lower. It's interesting where the tier 3 daily stuff is today. With monthly trend guide reversal, it'd be a double bottom. Be a massive, big size ADR move again too for CL if it does that. Anywho, I don't know if there's a whole lot else there on CL. I'm gonna drag down the daily though, since it picks up so many zones here. I think I'm gonna have to take a look at this and come up with some kind of a different scoring model on CL, just because it grabs so much stuff. And it's really a nature of how close these things are. But I think we may want to adjust the scoring model on it. Or tell it to be less greedy. Yeah, that's right. And when it carved up this one here last night, it included quarterly trend guide which that you can see the 6923-ish level, down to monthly trend guide reversal 2. So 6914, 6920, whatever. It wanted to take it all the way down to 6841. So you could treat this as one bigger zone, or you could treat it as two. I kind of decided to break it up there, obviously, as you can see. And treat them as two separate, but will have to watch because there's not a lot. If you decide to wait to the bottom edge of this one, then you have to be prepared for it to really come down, dib, and collect that swing AV watt from the lows. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about it. You got to be much more judicious in what and how you're taking stuff here. But that is CL and our take on it.
I'm wondering if we can reclaim that box before the end of the week.
I mean, it's looking possible. It's got to clear that daily anchor VWAP there. There's a lot going against it, and well, you know how good they were telling us that inflation was transitory. You know, it's about the same thing in the way they're talking with recession stuff here. So like, that comes to fruition, and oil is going to keep falling there. So the one thing you could watch potentially is that we come up and tag. Actually, do people start getting even more concerned and stuff like that? And you do something like that. Because I know that a lot of people are sitting here and trying to wanting to buy into here in these lower 60s, but man, they just keep taking it out. And I don't know that the administration has talked about what price they're going to use to refill the SPR, and so in retrospect, people were giving them all kinds of shit for not buying, and depleting and stuff when it was at higher prices, but shit, they may have sold. I mean, how they sold way back in there in the much higher prices, taking things out of SPR, 70s, 80s, whatever else. Now they can come back and start to refill it in the 50s and 40s.
We do have it's interesting that through the ECD there's an annual and a quarterly pivot all the way down.
At the 56-ish level.
Mm-hmm. That's right at that annual pivot. I have it in my chart.
Actually, I don't see any annual things in here for some reason.
There they go. I see that APP right there.
There's
the 90s.
AS2, AR1.
Where's your AS1?
I don't know, it's hidden. It's hidden somewhere. Maybe it's behind this whole mess here. Yeah, it's hidden right. It's hidden right behind the monthly and that gap fill.
So that's right on.
So that's an interesting one. I'll have to change. It's probably because the way that I'm caching now, the pivots and the way that they get drawn. So I should change that so that I draw the lower time frame pivots first and then draw the higher time frames. So that way the higher time frames are on top of the lower. Can you go do that for me? If you get a chance?
Sure. Yeah, just tell me what I gotta say.
Just go ask ChatGPT. She'll help you.
At the end of the day, the code won't be worth shit.
Yeah, in fact, I was talking with some buddies in a different place, and they wanted to incorporate the expected move stuff, right? So like, well, here, give me a minute. I went over, did a bunch of stuff on my side to change some code in my part, so I could give them the expected move levels. And then I went to ChatGPT and said, "How do you do this?" "Oh, perfect. This is what you do." Blah blah blah. They go and try it out. Yeah, dude, that code doesn't work. Chat or TradingView doesn't even have the ability to read in a flat file. Oh, well, ChatGPT thinks it does, so it must work. You're wrong. It's always right.
Yeah.
Never fully trust the computer.
He was quoted to be very stubborn.
What was that quote in Aliens? Where they said they don't trust the... It's not a droid. Oh, what the fuck was Bishop's? What kind of a thing was Bishop?
That's not a person.
You tell me you've seen Aliens.
No.
Alien?
I know what an alien is.
No, the
I've never
movie.
seen one.
No, the movie.
No.
Oh, man.
Which words, man? Are you talking about Predator? I've seen Predator. One of them, at least, I think I've seen.
No. No, like the original Alien with Sigourney Weaver.
No, I've never seen one.
Oh, my lord.
I've seen the Predator one. Thing with the
I mean, I
red, and then you got Rambo that goes and kills them all.
I get it's from 1979, but like, dude, I saw this when I was like 5th grade, 4th grade, something like that. Like, this is a good Ridley Scott movie there.
Man, it must be good. It's got 8.5 out of 10. Top rated number 51? Is that all time? Man, for a whole movie like that?
Yeah.
It must be good, I guess. I've never seen it. Maybe I'll pick it up this weekend. Is it scary? I'm gonna watch it. It's scary.
I don't know what's scary to you, so I can't help you there.
Yeah. Alright, my man. Sounds good, dude. Beautiful prep. Wait, did we finish?
Yep, we're done. Unless you had any other ones you wanted to take a look at, we got through GC and CL and all the rest of them. So.
Yeah, no, we're good.
All right, cool.
Be a beautiful day.
Yes, it is.
You have a good one, my man.
Thanks, you too. Have a good one. Bye now.
Take care. Bye.
All right, folks, and that is it. As you can see, we got to help our friends here. They are a little bit behind in watching some movies. In any event, hopefully those are all some good zones to keep an eye out on for today. Keeping in mind, again, we're not financial analyst advisors, anything of the sort. We're trying to share our prep in hopes that it does a couple things. One, selfishly, that it gets us better prepared for the day. Two, it starts to highlight some of the benefits and the things that we are creating as part of the indicator bundles and whatnot. There are plans to eventually take these out to like TradingView and some of the other platforms. Unfortunately, it's just a resource problem, time, money, etc. type of stuff to go do some of that. And so if you haven't checked them out, I would say, please head on over to our Substack page. We actually talked a little bit the other night about the expected move and kind of how you use it, what do you look for, etc. And then last night we actually talked about the disparity index or this piece we see down here in our subgraphs for symmetrical extremes. And so pretty nice views on the symmetrical extreme stuff there to understand and know when things are really kind of getting into extremes. You want to buy, sell, etc. So again, you got to take those, and understand the market you're in and everything else before you start executing on them, just like anything else. So with that, we will call it quits. Thank you all, and